In this demo, we'll see how St. Charles County implemented Citizenserve for their health license inspections. First, let's start by taking a look at where they were before they started using Citizenserve. So I'm going to pull up the food inspection report. So these were filled out by hand out in the field. They had to manually write in the business name, their number, the address, phone numbers, contact information, all that. So it was a very time-consuming process to write this out in the field. They also had to fill out the inspection form and then manually calculate a score. So these numbers would be added together to determine the overall score that you see at the top. So it was very prone to mistakes, data entry mistakes, calculation mistakes, and it was a very long manual process. So this is the inspection report that they wanted to set up in Citizenserve. We had already set up their health licenses, and we were just adding in this inspection report. So that's what we will take a look at. So let me come back to Citizenserve. And this is the home page you see when you first log in. The inspectors can see things that they have scheduled for themselves. They also are using my metrics to get an idea of where they're at in the inspection process. These are annual inspections that are done every year. The inspector decides when he's going to inspect them based on when they were last inspected. So this metric gives them an idea of which ones are due. So the red ones are overdue. This 13 will show us how many are due that month, how many they've got out in the future. They have fewer aquatic, fitness, and lodging establishment licenses, so those are separate metrics. All of these are for food. The inspector can then easily see if he's got any overdue inspections or which ones are coming due this month. So I'll click 13, due this month, to see which inspections are due. So I click this and it pulls up this list showing me all the addresses and locations and the health risk and when the last inspection was. The inspector can use this to determine where he'll go inspect first. You can also view this on a map. So if they want to look at it in a map view, that's an option as well. I'll just grab this top one. That takes me to the license where I can just take a look at it. If I want to review any specific information about this license, I can. But if I'm ready to go ahead and do my inspection, I can click the Schedule Inspection icon. And I'll select an inspection type. This is going to be a food establishment inspection. If I'm doing the inspection out in the field today, I can just select my completion date, which is today. And I can track my time in. Let's say I got there at 9 o'clock. And I'm going to leave at 9:30. And then we can just fill out this inspection form. So the inspectors can do this out in the field with their tablets or laptops. They'll enter the name of the person that they spoke to. You've got current certification, and let's say it expires next year. Now, here are all of the inspection checklist items. So for each item, they can select an option. We've defaulted everything to in compliance so that the inspector only has to fill in those items that there were issues with. So I can select, let's say, not in compliance, and enter a point deduction. We could default this if we wanted to. They wanted to have the inspector have the ability to enter that, but if you wanted to, you could default that value. In this drop-down, we've got standard comments that are applicable to this violation type, so the inspector doesn't have to type in the comment. So we can select that. If we wanted to type in an additional comment, we can do that here. They'll select when it needs to be corrected by, we'll say 10 days. And just go down this list and select any other items that may not have been in compliance. Now, as I fill this out, it's calculating my deductions here at the top. And when I generate the inspection report, it'll automatically have a score. I'm going to jump down to the bottom. You can see this is a long inspection list. and just fill out the final information. Let's say they need a follow-up, and I'm going to go out next week. We'll select that date, and I do want to charge them a re-inspection fee. I can select all those options. If I want to add any additional comments, I can do this here. At this point, they can show the responsible party the inspection report and have them sign. So on a tablet, they just click here and sign, and then they can sign. And the last thing I need to do is just generate my inspection report. So I'm going to scroll to the top and click Send Email. This is going to save my inspection and then show me the available email templates. I will select the Food Establishment Inspection Report and select a recipient for this email. I can click here to see a list of all the recipients. I can select multiple if I'd like. Now if I want to preview it, I can. Typically in the field they're just going to hit send because they don't need to preview it, but I'll hit preview just so you can see what it looks like. So here we see our preview of the food establishment inspection. It's got the score up here, it's pulled in all the information, it's pulled in any of the violations that the inspector selected. If I wanted to edit this for any reason, I could, but I'll just go ahead and click send at the bottom. That sends the email. It also attaches a copy of it to the Documents tab. So if I look over here, there's our email. And let me grab it from my inbox. So here's the email that was delivered to my inbox. And you can see all the information comes in. So the inspector was able to input all his inspection results out in the field and send an email. Everything's in the system. There's no updating that needs to happen when he gets back to the office. And that's an overview of how St. Charles County implemented health license inspections with Citizenserve.